Hello Pisces, welcome to your 2026 annual Astroclock. I am so excited and delighted to be doing this again. If you're familiar with our channel, you know that I do this once a year where we do our annual forecast. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Leila, the Lenormand Reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. And this reading is a special reading. It is the once a year annual forecast that I use with the Astroclock. If you're not familiar with it, you'll see it in just a bit, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. And you know that the Astroclock is our basis for the upcoming monthly forecast. So everything stays connected and coherent a lot of the time. So welcome again, Pisces. I am ready for your Astroclock. I hope that you are. Let's go ahead and see what 2026 has in store for you. Okay, Pisces, here is your Astroclock. As you can see, this is a big spread where we use all 36 cards of the deck, and 36 divides up nicely into 12 and 3. So we have 12 groups of 3 cards each, and each of the groups represents a month of the year. You notice that I start dealing at midnight here, but I actually start reading at 1 o'clock, which is January, and we go around clockwise all the way up to December 2026. So before we get into the month-to-month forecast, I like to get an overview of the Astroclock to orientate myself, to get a sense of where the positive cards are, where the challenging cards are, people, money, work, etc. Now we can see that between April and June, the cards are pretty bright. We have some really positive cards, the flowers, the clover, and sun. So this few months here is quite positive. Earlier, there is the snake here. February is a little bit challenging, but January and March look pretty okay, pretty good. We have a new beginning here in August. The cards in August are very clear and very much point to a new beginning. This is a sharp change. And the challenging month looks to be December. I'm going to change these into a different direction like so. So we have the key and it goes into the whip and the mouse and whip. This is the more challenging combination. At the same time, Pisces, the key is quite helpful. And we have an ending here with the coffin. So it sort of aligns with the August cards. In between, we have a positive connection here. And everything else is looking pretty predictable, pretty okay. So let's go ahead and get into your month to month. So starting with January, we have a very clear message of a contract or agreement and some kind of connection here that materializes. The ring is a card of relationships and also commitments, and the book is a card of offers or sometimes the unknown, but with the ring is definitely about a connection, a contract, and same with the letter. So there is some important news here that materializes into some kind of contract or agreement. Now, what context this is in, it depends on your specific Pisces, but also when we get to the monthly forecast, we will have these cards as the basis for the monthly forecast, and we will draw additional cards on top of them. So we'll have more detail about them. Moving on to February, we have the bird, lily, and snake. And this is a bit of a tricky kind of energy. The snake specifically is what causes it to be this way. The bird can suggest anxiety and nervousness, especially with a card like the snake. And in between, we have the lily. The lily is a card of work or career. And so you could be making changes or negotiating some aspects of your life and career, Pisces. Things are a bit quiet. They need to be. The bird can be a bit loud, but the lily and snake, they mute the bird, and they certainly advise you to be more discreet and also to be more calm and calculated. So I feel you're going to be making some adjustments here. It might be in the back of or in the wake of the January cards. So there are some adjustments here, and you want to be discreet about them. You want to be careful about who you share, what you share with whom, and make adjustments like that. It can affect your health. I have a feeling that it can affect your health because the lily is sometimes a card about health. And so maybe here you are making adjustments as well. You might want to consider someone's opinion or other opinions, and you might want to also take it easy and slow down in general, Pisces. So it's a bit of an interesting month. I feel it's a transitional kind of month here, where after the offer, you move into some very exciting events here. Now, March is lovely for being in a happy home, having good relationships with family members, close friends, colleagues. The house can represent any kind of context, usually smaller circles. And the heart and woman suggest a very positive relationship here. This could also mean getting closer to someone, meeting someone, and really just having a good vibe with people in general. Moving on to April, this is an exciting month. This is where we start to see some very good months here. The flowers is a very happy and festive card, and the ship is quite adventurous and bold. So after the quietness and the predictability of the tower, it sounds like you're off for new ventures and you're off for exploring things. You could also be connecting or reconnecting with places from the past and things that had been on hold, or you've been working through for some time. They materialize and they bring some very positive results in here. Now, May is also exciting because we have the beautiful clover. The clover is a very lucky card, and the stork and bear suggest big changes and big steps. And these are very welcome and they're definitely encouraged. Now, they could affect a specific area of your life or your life in general. That's flexible. And again, when we get to the monthly forecast, Pisces, will have more insights and more details. The bear is also great for growth. You could get a promotion, you could get some kind of improvement. And it's also great for supportive people, like getting someone's support, getting someone's back. So really nice cards in here. June is also lovely because we have the beautiful sun. It's one of the most powerfully positive cards of the deck, and it is kind of general, like, it's high up in the sky. It shines on everything under it. So it's a broadly positive card. And with the anchor and cross, you could make a very important decision. You could find that you are on very firm foundations, and also you could feel generally aligned with your goals and your priorities. So you could have a really good sense of priority and feeling really aligned with your bigger goals. The cross can sometimes be a challenging card. When it's challenging, it suggests things like burdens, maybe regrets, something karmic, something a bit challenging like that. But in this context, I really don't see this coming through this way. Instead, Pisces, we are seeing a deeper alignment, a sense of purpose, and a sense of achievement. So really beautiful in here. In July, we have some ventures with a person. You could be moving forward with a relationship. You could get invitations. You could be exploring relationships. They're really nice cards to be easygoing, to be open-minded, and to just go with the flow, I would say. It's also good for connecting with others, maybe colleagues, friends, siblings, even employees or other people who offer you some kind of service. So these are very easygoing cards from March all the way up to July. There are lots of happy, positive cards. This is looking like a great time for being productive, going after your goals, aligning with your objectives, stepping up to the task, growing, and becoming more masterful at your work in general and the things that you do. August is a turning point. We have a very clear message of a change and a new beginning. The scythe is a card of severance, and the child is a card of new beginnings. So there is a very clear message here of a change, of moving into a new beginning. Now, the clouds is a little bit challenging. It can bring complications and a lack of clarity. But this is, regardless, it's a breakthrough. You're definitely making a change. You're definitely moving into a new beginning. It could be a big one. And so we would expect that it's not a very easy transition and that it comes with its, its gaps. And you probably don't know everything of what's ahead. But a change, we are definitely seeing a change. So this August month is a turning point. Now, September is lovely for a person. We've got the man with the rider. This could be a really nice person, a gentleman. And the fish can be a card of money, work, and business. So you could be in collaboration with someone here. It could also be a customer or a partner. There are really good vibes with this person, and you're moving ahead with your objectives. Now, if it's not a business thing, and we will determine that more when we get to the September forecast, it can be a strong attraction. The fish is quite sensual when it comes to romance and people, although its main interpretation is the money thing. So really nice cards. And then October seems to build on this ending and this beginning that you've started in August. We have a very happy ending with the star and coffin. And with the fox, this could be the end of a job or the end of a project or the end of something that you'd been doing. And the star is, it being one of the brightest cards of the deck, it suggests that you want to bring things to a close. You've successfully completed a project, and you've probably reached your objectives. I'm suspecting a bit of envy. I don't know why. The fox is not it's really the snake that's about envy, and it's somewhere here. But I feel that because you're shining so well, you could rise above a certain level at this point. So this could be quite a transition. We've got the man cards here that are a bit different from the energy, but he could be part of the reason you're able to make this change and move on. So in this side of the Astroclock, which is between August and October, we're seeing a significant change. Now, moving on to November, we could be seeing that you're off somewhere abroad. You could be going to another place, another country. You could also be exploring different places. You could also be looking at establishing yourself in another location. That is possible. Otherwise, these are really good cards for resting, taking a break, taking time out, spending time on your own, and I guess gathering yourself for what could come. So really nice cards in here. They are potentially social cards because of the garden in the middle, but the mountain and tree are very much about solitude, and we're seeing them together. So I'm getting a stronger feel about taking time out, resting, relaxing, taking a vacation, and things like that. Now, December is a challenging month because we have the whip and the mouse and whip. So there's obviously a problem that you need to solve. But the key is lovely here because it is precisely the card of problem solving. And seeing it in the cards, even if it's at the outset of the triplet, it still empowers you with solutions, with problem-solving skills, and with really being focused on the bottom line. So be prepared to put in some effort and to put your good brains to good use, Pisces, in the face of some challenges here in December. And it could also be a message for you to shake out clutter, to shake out anything that is distracting you and what isn't aligned anymore. So overall, Pisces, I think this is going to be an eventful year. We have quite a lot going on and across different areas. We have a lot of successful combinations. There's really good potential for you to make significant progress towards your goals, be productive, be creative, and grow in these ways. And there is also a significant change that is very likely to happen towards the end of the year, or let's say 2/3 into the year, August onwards. December is a little bit tough, but really that's the only really challenging triplet. The other negative cards are absorbed into other combinations and with other cards that change them a little bit. So for example, the coffin and fox, they're kind of helped to a great extent by the star, suggesting that this is a successful completion, as opposed to something negative like, a trap or a loss or something like that. The clouds, yes, it's a little bit challenging with the scythe and child, but in the context of this sharp break and new beginning, it's more about the confusion of the transition as opposed to a big problem, or something dramatic. And even the clouds in and of itself is not really dramatic. And then the snake is kind of curious here. It's really about this discretion and this element of being cautious and I think it's another transition, where you have this offer and you're adjusting your lifestyle around it. So we're really just seeing December as the challenging month for you, whereas normally, Pisces, we see 2 to 3 challenging months in an Astroclock, and the rest is generally even. So for you, we have one main challenging month. The others are deeper changes, and we have lots of bright cards in a sequence, actually, between March and July. Like I said, these are great cards for being productive, for achieving and moving forward, making real tangible progress in your goals. In terms of relationships, the relationships are looking good this year. We have the woman with the house and heart is lovely. The dog with the moon and road is lovely. The man and rider are also lovely with money and business and potentially some attraction here. And if the garden is social, then it's also quite peaceful. So in terms of relationships, the cards are really good this year. The ring could be a relationship, but my feeling is that it's more of a contract. But even if it is a relationship, there's still a good connection here. So relationships are looking good. Finances are looking pretty good. Achievement, progress, work, all of that is great. There's just a challenge here which could be specific to you. We're not really seeing in what context. Of course, when we get to December, a little bit far off from now, we'll dive more deeply into it. So a lovely Astroclock, quite eventful, quite productive and active, Pisces. I certainly hope you're going to take advantage of this to get things done, to move forward and progress in your life and your goals, to enjoy relationships, and then to get ready for what is looking like a significant, big change, new beginning here. What do you make of this? How are you aligning with this Astroclock so far, Pisces? Are you envisioning your year yet? Does it seem to align? Are you getting ideas about how it could play out? Leave me a comment or two. As always, I look forward to them. And like I said, Pisces, this is our blueprint for the upcoming monthly forecasts. The individual groups of 3s are the basis for the upcoming monthly forecast. So I hope you will stick with me throughout the year. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and share this Astroclock with others so that they're aware that we do this amazing spread. It's different from anything else that's out there. Very best of luck with 2026, Pisces. Thank you again for being here. I hope you will continue to be. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.